Alright, what is up y'all? Today we got ourselves another video. So this video I am pretty excited about. This is a review I've been wanting to do for a while. I did just want to kind of research this, get all my facts straight, because there is a little bit that goes into this company. But as you see from the title of this video, today we are going to be reviewing and diving into Madness Skateboards. So just want to give a quick shout out to Black Sheep Skate Shop here in Charlotte. You know, got my order in yesterday, and I got this beauty right here. I'm gonna show it off to y'all a little bit more. Just gonna get right into it. I'll give you a little bit of information on this company, a little bit of the ins and outs, a little bit of the controversy that went on with this company, and yeah, I'm gonna show you this board. This is a beautiful board. Most Madness boards are, but yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So, one thing I really like about Madness Skateboards, they're different, man. They got a lot of little subtle differences that really, I'm a stickler for detail. I like little things, little different things, and this company definitely does not disappoint in that aspect of what they've got going on. So as you can see, first off, Madness boards, they don't come shrink wrapped. They come in these long ass bags, and I think that's kind of cool, man. It's got Madness written on it. And, you know, I think that's cool. It's a little different than what you see from most skate companies. So if you get a Madness board, you're gonna get it in that. You're not gonna get it shrink wrapped. I don't know if they put all their boards like that. All the ones I've gotten have been like that. I've gotten about 3 now. But yeah, this right here, great boards, man. Amazing graphics, solid wood, great concave, great shapes. They come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. This one right here is the Jack Fardell board, and as you can see, it's got this really cool holographic type print on it. They do a lot of crazy stuff with their boards. I've got one right here. As you can see, this one has been skated. As you see right here, it's got half one color, half the other. A lot of their boards, they do this really wild stuff. They do different laid plies. They do different like 2-sheet plies. They do their raised graphics really crazy. They do a lot of really trippy stains and stuff on their boards. But yeah, man, I mean, it's something that really catches the eye. Now this one right here, I'm not skating. This one is going on the wall. It's beautiful, man. You know, with Madness boards, a lot of their boards are this really artistic style graphics. What they do, a lot of their boards are Francisco Goya paintings. This one right here is the Witch's Sabbath. If you Google Witch's Sabbath by Francisco Goya, this right here is what you're gonna see. And this board right here, as you see, it's got this big raised ink face on it. This is actually from the painting, what's it called? Man Mocked by Two Women. That is actually the middle face you'll see in that painting. And I don't know how well you can see on this board. I'm going to try and get a little close up, but this ink on here is actually raised up. So, you know, I skated the shit out of this board, man. I don't know what they print their graphics with, but I skated the shit out of this board, and I mean, you can still see through the camera, this whole graphic is still good. You know, I mean, I have board slides, lip slides, all that stuff, and I mean, the graphic's still there, you know. I mean, it's barely come off. And with this one right here, as you can see, they've got this really crazy holographic ply underneath, and then I don't know how well you can see that, but this is actually all raised up with like bubbles. It gives it a really trippy effect to the boards. Most of their boards that I've seen do have these raised graphics. Some of them do have this holographic, I guess that would be a stain. I don't know if they print that on there. But yeah, they do have that. They have like pearlescent type graphics that they do on a lot of these. Man, it's just sick. It's really good. Like, these boards are pretty much art pieces. You know, it's kind of a shame to skate them, but they are amazing boards. It's kind of a shame I'm not going to be able to skate this one, but I will be getting another one soon to skate because these boards are amazing. Um, so I do want to go into a little bit of information about Madness as a company before I get into kind of how these things skate, the concave, all that stuff. So Madness Skateboards, they are through Dwindle Distribution. If you don't know Dwindle Distribution, that is the company that distributes, owns Enjoy, Almost, Blind, Dark Star, Tensor Trucks, On Delay Bearings, a lot of the really really kind of classic companies in skateboarding. I know some people may not like Dark Star skateboards or Blind skateboards or stuff like that. They kind of see them as a sellout company, kind of. Me being the age I am when I was first skateboarding and stuff, Dark Star, Blind, those were two of the biggest companies. Now they've kind of gotten pushed aside. They've kind of been linked to selling out, kind of, because you see, Dark Star boards in Walmart and stuff. Blind skateboards, they're pretty cheap. They're like $35. I think you can get a board of theirs for. But I've skated Blind boards, and they are pretty good boards. I haven't skated one in a while. I can't attest to how they are now. But as you'll see on this right here, the Resin 7 right here. I don't know how well you can see that. Let's get it in the light. That's what you would see on like a blind board. I remember seeing those on blind boards a lot. The Resin 7, the Impact Light, or whatever it was called. You see that on these boards as well. So I don't know. They might be the same wood. I remember blind boards being really good boards when I skated them. And these are really good boards too. So I don't know, man. I can't really attest for them now. I haven't skated them in a long time. But nonetheless, Madness is through Dwindle Distribution, that all those companies are through. So the reason I took a while to do this review video on this company, there was a little controversy of with Madness Skateboards for a while. I really didn't know what was all going on with it, so I decided to kind of look into some message boards, slap message boards. They have a lot of speculation, but they do also have some, some good discussions when it comes to that stuff. A lot of proof, a lot of things. So I found out with Madness Skateboards that they actually had some legal issues, a legal battle with a company called Madness Skateboarding, but it was spelled with a 3 where the E is supposed to be, rather than the E like Madness Skateboards here spells theirs. So for a little while, when I was looking at Madness, I really liked them. I was trying to look for some of their boards, and went on ThankYouSupply.com, which is Dwindle Distribution's straight-to-customer kind of selling website. And Madness was nowhere to be found. Couldn't find their products there. They had been essentially taken off the entire website. And so I go to Instagram, I go looking, and I find a page called Mind Trip Skateboards. And it's got the little swirl logo that you see right here. And it's the black and yellow. It's the same exact team. They were all out in Europe doing a tour or something. And it was Mind Trip Tour, Mind Trip Skateboards. So I really didn't know what was going on with that. I thought, hell, they're a pretty new company. I think at this time they'd only been around for a year and a half, 2 years maybe not even that long. And, I didn't really know what was going on. And then that only lasted for a couple weeks, and then it was back to Madness Skateboards. And it turns out during this whole time where they were taken off of Thank You Supply and removed from Dwindle Distribution's webpage, and they had changed their Instagram handle, they were in a legal battle with this Madness Skateboarding, spelled with a 3. And from what I have been able to find through my research and looking it up and everything, I guess this company was out of Ontario. I've seen it posted a lot associated with the local skate shop. That is the name of the skate shop, the local skate shop in Hamilton, Ontario. And they had a lot of different things like shirts, they had hats, they had grip tape and stuff, and their logo was Madness, spelled with a 3, in black lettering with a yellow background, kind of like a highlighter yellow background, and kind of reminiscent of the Supreme Box logo. But if you know Madness Skateboards, that is their logo as well. It's one of their logos. It is the yellow rectangle with Madness in black. So there was a lot of accusations from this company in Ontario saying that they ripped off their logo, ripped off their name, all that stuff, and this company even was firing shots at Tory Pudwill through Grizzly Grip Tape. They were saying that he ripped off some of their grip tape designs and stuff like that. I saw some screen captures of their products, and a lot of their stuff was like Louis Vuitton printed grip tape and had some Gucci logos. They looked like they ripped off the Supreme Box logo on some of their stuff. So I mean, for them to really be like, hey, we're getting ripped off by them, by Madness Skateboards, and they're kind of ripping off other things, I mean, I don't know, it didn't really make a whole lot of sense, but I can see where that other company is coming from. There were some similarities, and I guess it all got figured out. I guess the person had copyrighted Madness with a 3, and Madness Skateboards was, I guess, deemed not to be in infringement of copyright. So it went back to Madness Skateboards. They got put back on the Dwindle page. They are there now. They got put back on ThankYouSupply.com. They're still there. Their original Madness Skateboards Instagram handle is still up and running. That is what they do. The Mind Trip Skateboards Instagram handle is still up as well, but they are still Madness Skateboards. That's what they're going with. So I guess it was just a whole big thing that happened with this company and that company, and that is why they kind of had a little hiatus there for a while. And I didn't really know all that until I went and researched it. I just knew something had happened where they switched their name, and then they switched it back, and came to find out that is what it was. So anyways, moving on from that, like I said, I'm a stickler for details. I like very subtle, minute things that you see on certain products. I went over the graphics and just the different little things they do with making the different colored plies, the raised graphics. One thing, I don't know why I like this so much, but I noticed it on this board. You can't really see it on this board anymore, but on the sides of the board right here, they print, as you can see on this one right here, they've got, I don't know how well you can see that. Let's get it a little closer. As you can see right there, they've got Jack Fardell printed on the side of the board. And they do that with other boards like this one right here. It has been scratched off, but you can just barely make out where it says Madness on the side of that. When I pulled my board out, gripped it, I didn't even notice that until I was skating it. And I kind of fucking nerded out on that. I thought that was just really fucking cool for some reason. It really doesn't. I mean, it's just kind of like a tiny little thing that I thought was really fucking cool. I really like what they do with like the backs of their boards. As you can see, they've got like the whole little spiral logo going all the way around the deck. That is really sick to me. I like things like that. I like back graphics and stuff like that. All their boards, I guess that's their little catchphrase, extremely foolish behavior. If you've seen any of their pros or anything like that, they go big, they're crazy. So, extremely foolish behavior does kind of fit their whole style and everything. And what I really like on their boards, they stamp in their spiral logo onto the bottom underneath the truck right there. So it's just little things like that that I really like. I think that's really cool. I don't know why I like that so much. I just like small little subtle differences, and I think that's what really makes this company stand out. And I touched on the Francisco Goya paintings. One thing I really like, all of their graphics, or most of their graphics, I can't say all because some of them they do have like the eye logo and the spiral head and all that stuff, but a lot of their graphics here, they do Francisco Goya paintings. That was what really caught my eye when I first found out about Madness. I saw they had a shaped board, and it had the painting Saturn Devouring His Son by Francisco Goya, and that is one of my favorite paintings. It's always been one of my favorite paintings ever since I've seen it. You know, it's crazy. If you haven't seen it, go look it up. It's got big giant, you know, Saturn devouring his son, ripping his head off with his mouth. So it's a pretty intense painting, but you know, that's just one of my favorite paintings. I've always liked it, and they do a lot of things like this right here. You know, is just pretty much the painting on here. They haven't altered it very much, other than, you know, adding the holographic print to it. And this one, as you can see, it's not the full painting, but it is the face right here. And they do that with a lot of their boards. They take a part or a portion of the painting, and they throw it onto their boards, and they make it kind of cool. You know, it's not just them, you know, printing something on a board and being like, here you go, Madness Skateboards. You know, they're switching it up. They're doing this raised graphic. They're incorporating, you know, the actual classic artwork in their own way onto their boards that have these crazy dies behind them. They've got the crazy holographic paint. They've got the raised up paint. It's just all around, man. I really love what they're doing. You know, it seems somewhat original to me. You know, I haven't seen a company that does that with all their graphics. You know, I mean, you may see here and there a company might, you know, put something like that on their boards, but Madness Skateboards has kind of made that their thing. I mean, you know, I just think that's really cool to me. You know, that's just something different. You know, I think it's their little thing they do, and I really like that. So now that we've got a little bit of my personal opinion on them, we've got a little bit of background information on them, I'm going to talk about how these bad boys skate. So, first and foremost, they skate great. They are amazing. You know me, I like to skate big boards, 8.5. I skate transition a lot. I skate, you know, different things like that. So these boards are really great. Some of their concaves are a little different, and you know, I don't know how well you can see on this board, but the nose right here is really steep. The tail, I mean, it's a little steep for a tail, but their wheelbase is what gets a lot of people. Their wheelbase is not the normal 14.25 or 14.75 you usually find. They have a 15-inch wheelbase on, I think it's all their boards over 8.3 that have a 15-inch wheelbase. I know their 825s, or the ones I've seen, have a 14.25-inch wheelbase, but these have a 15-inch wheelbase, which makes them a little bit longer of a board to skate. It makes them feel a little hefty to people that aren't used to skating those boards. Not all their concave is the same. I'm going to show you just between this one and the one I have here. Now, as you can see, the tails are pretty similar, the concave and the steepness. The tail is just a little bit steeper on this one, but the nose is drastically steeper. I mean, you see how much steeper this nose is than this one down here. You know, I guess this board right here is, you know, in my opinion, it was better for skating transition and stuff like that, just because it's got that real steep nose. You know, if you're skating flat ground doing flip tricks and shit like that, it's going to be kind of a pain in the ass because of how steep the nose and tail are. You're going to have to pop it a lot harder. But this one, you know, it does have a little bit more normal, I guess, of a concave. One thing I really like about these boards, as soon as I threw it down, like how just square and large that nose is. I don't know why. I really like boards like that. They just seem hefty. They seem, I don't know, they seem comfortable to me. I got big feet. Skate transition, so I mean, I like that a lot. But yeah, man, I mean, Madness, they're great boards. If you're looking at wanting to get one of these boards and you're not too sure, I would definitely suggest you get one. Just know that whatever board it is might have some steep concave to it. Well, it's got mellow concave, but the nose and the tail might be pretty steep for you. It does have that wide wheelbase on it, that longer wheelbase that we were talking about. But other than that, man, I mean, these are great boards. I mean, if you skated any quasi boards, if you skated any Habitat boards, GX 1000 boards, any fucking awesome or hockey decks like that, they've got a similar concave and a similar steepness to the nose and tail, a similar large nose and tail on them to those boards. So if you skated those before and you liked them, chances are you're probably gonna like these Madness boards. But that's just something to be wary of if you are wanting to purchase one of these. But yeah, so I mean that's really my opinion. I mean honestly, I really love that board. I've loved the boards that I've skated of them. I've loved their graphics. I love what they're doing as a company. I love their team. Their team is a crazy, just stacked team, man. They're nuts. But yeah, I mean that's really all I've got to say about them. Definitely, 100%. I would definitely recommend this company. But yeah, that's about it I've got on this. Like always, if you got any suggestions of what you want me to see, what you want me to review, I apologize. Let me know. I will make a video of that. And I do have more videos on the way very shortly. It has been just a little difficult to film a lot of videos here recently with everything going on in the world, but hopefully that's going to change. So yeah, leave it down below what you want to see, and I'll try my hardest to source whatever it is and do a review on it. But yeah, we're going to do a little close-up of this board right here, and that'll be the video.